The October tour absence list grows, I'm afraid. Takayasu's hips have flared up again, ruling him out for 3 weeks, which I guess means the remainder. Churanomi has contracted bronchitis and will be resting for 7 days, as will Hokuto Fuji, who has an inflamed larynx and pharynx. But some good tour training has still been done. Onosato, on Sunday in his native Ishikawa prefecture, went 4-3 against Hoshoryu and Kotozakura in an all Ozeki session specially arranged for the watching sumo chairman Hakkaku, and 4,700 others. With Kanazawans hit by flash flooding right now, not long after a heavy earthquake, Onosato made sure to stress, "I hope my sumo inspires Kanazawans in these difficult times. The cheers of local fans make a difference to me, and I want to be fighting with similar energy as the tour sessions progress." Not the highest bout count today, I know, but the session was still beneficial. Hoshoryu dominated that practice with an overall 7-3, earning praise for his initial charge from the observing Hakkaku. Kotozakura, alas, went 1-6, claiming, "I didn't think we'd be doing this so soon." That seems to have been his first fighting session this month. Hakkaku hailed the Kanazawan passion poured upon Onosato, but most of his comments concerned the mostly inactive Yokozuna. "Physically, he's some way off," the sumo governor began. "He doesn't want that muscle mass dropping anymore. In his 20s, he'd soon have regained it, but at almost 33, it'll take some time." 2 other local fighters lapped up the cheers in that same arena. Endo, from disaster-stricken Anamizumachi, said, "I admit the emotions I feel here are a bit different to the usual. I want to move forward with all the folk gathered here." And Enho, brought up for this leg specifically, as he hails from near the arena, said, "I was getting overcome out there. Thank goodness I didn't quit the ring." The tour then moved on to Takaoka City, where Hoshoryu kept up his record since the second day of the tour of seeking a fair chunk of dohyo time, fighting 16 practice bouts and losing only 3, which still made him slightly unhappy. His opponents for the record included these 4 men here. "I've been calling out the pushing experts a lot, and I feel my arms are extending well and throwing spanners in their works," he said. "I'm making up for last time, really. My score was poor in September because I couldn't fully train beforehand." He is consciously attempting to develop a thrusting game, as his throws are not only injuring him, but also getting red. The following day saw the wrestlers head to Asanoyama's home patch of Toyama. Without Asanoyama, who was limited to pole slapping, push-ups and light equipment work within his Tokyo stable. By way of an update, he said, "I've begun my full-on rehabilitation program of 2 physio sessions a week. I can't really pressure the left leg right now, so no proper bending of the knee just yet. It really won't take the weight. And it seems January may now come too soon for him." It was therefore left to Kirishima to please the Toyama crowd. He seemed to fight the most bouts that morning, 13, going 8-5. We know within that he beat Tamashoho before being called out by Hoshoryu, with whom he went 2-2. "I wanted to do all this yesterday, but time ran out," he explained. "So it had to be today, but I still can't push myself too hard yet. Thankfully, there's still time to get into peak shape." Reminded that a repeat of his last November performance, 13 wins, could see him back to Ozeki early, he said, "That's not on my mind just yet." Away from the tour, we've had this key development: the grand opening of the new Oshima Stable in Tokyo's Katsushika Ward. The opening ceremony was held on Saturday in front of Isegahama Group bigwigs. Koji Isegahama, of course, made Yokozuna at the previous Oshima Stable, whose wooden plaque pictured here has now been affixed to the current building. "It feels that bit different to have a base you can finally call your own," said a proud coach Oshima, who famously declined to continue the previous version of the stable in April 2012 in order to prolong his in-ring career, then promptly scooped the top division title. He added, "It's nice for my living quarters to be on the same floor as the wrestlers. Before I had to telephone them if I wanted something." He hopes his new building, replete with modern weight training room, will help with his scouting operations. And what a financing operation he must already have, having paid rent to his former master for the past 7 years, and yet still found enough to build this. Finally, Kinbozan's recent attendant, Suyama, has made Division 3 less than 30 months after turning pro, and just 9 years after starting sumo at the age of 18. "It's the result of putting everything into that day and that bout. I'm making really nice progress," said the affable Suyama, who commands plenty of column inches as the first graduate of Tokyo University to sport a sumo top knot. He was thrilled to be on the recent August tour, saying, "It exposed my weak points like never before, and showed me the type of training I really should be doing." The secret to his increasing success, he claims, comes from asking his master if he can video his bouts and analyze them post-session. "I'm so grateful that my coaches and seniors granted my request to set up the camera and actively helped me improve that way," he said. "I still feel September brought too many close calls though, despite my 6 wins. And I want to be moving around that dohyo more smoothly still." Coach Kisei is now a fan of his method and has urged all his charges to approach sumo study with Suyama level fervor.